My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we are looking at an episode called Follow the Whales. As you know, the whales essentially dictate the momentum and the tide in the ocean, and they also predicate the momentum and the future swings in the crypto market. So that's what we gonna do in this episode. Follow the whales and help you profit as the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice as another day you can profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it already, smash that like button and subscribe. I help you make money in the market using a little bit of self-taught knowledge, and this is one of the ways we're giving back. We give away free Bitcoin every single Friday. If you want to win some free BTC, all you need to do is leave me a comment. Every video is a chance to win. Every comment is a chance to win. Shout out your city. Or if you want to just see a chart in a future video, shout out a chart, and I can get to those in the next episode as well. So let's go ahead and make this money. This is one of the most latest news articles regarding Bitcoin whales. It says they have accumulated 219 Bitcoin in Binance withdrawals. Let me zoom in a little bit. It says recent development in the Bitcoin market has seen a significant accumulation by the whales. As per Look On Chain, a popular on-chain analytics firm, a couple of whales have withdrawn a cumulative amount of up to 3,500 Bitcoin with a value of $219 million from the prominent crypto exchange Binance in the past 12 hours. The analytics provider disclosed this on its official social media account. So let's see, do they actually show that tweet? I'm thinking it's probably Twitter. So if you go to Twitter, no, they don't. This references something else. It'd be nice if they actually showed the tweet that kind of predicated this information. These withdrawals may result in price appreciation or market manipulation. That's interesting. They would say that. So it's, a big whale moving a lot of money, 3,000 Bitcoin. That's more than most of us will ever see in this lifetime. $219 million in just a few clicks of the button. The question is, are they moving it off of the exchange to sell or to store? And I think that's the big question a lot of times is, you forget that this is an open market. You have buyers and sellers. So even if they are selling that $219 million, as long as we still have pretty good liquidity, and I think Bitcoin probably moves, let's just look on CoinMarketCap real quick to see how much liquidity Bitcoin has inside 24 hours. I know it's a lot of money though. 24-hour volume, they're moving. That's units, thousands, millions, $24 billion in a day. That's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of Skrilla, as they talk about. There you go right there. Volume 24 hours, 24 billion. So 219 million, although it seems like, oh my goodness, that's more money than I'm ever going to see in this world. Like, it's not even 1%. It might be, right around 1% of the 24-hour liquidity. So it's not a huge amount, not a terrifying amount, but still, I think when you get a lot of these whales swimming together, you get one and one and one and one and one, and next thing you know, 10 of them moving 219 million. Now you got something to talk about. And for those of you that don't know, a group of whales is called a pod. What is a group of whales called? So there you go. Put your green rainbow ticker on. The more you know. And I believe it's called a pod, right? There you go, right there. group of whales is called a pod. So we have one whale identified, $219 million worth. This is another article talking about can Bitcoin reach 100K? I think we talked about that. That was the one article they pulled up. That's not my article. This is my article. This talks about as banks buy up Bitcoin, who else are the Bitcoin whales? Dun, dun, dun. And it talks about the different categories that these whales are falling into. It says the price of Bitcoin is close to all-time high. Keep in your mind that this was written in March, so it's a few months outdated. Investment, but I think it's highly relevant. Investment firms like Grayscale, BlackRock, Fidelity are pouring billions of dollars into the volatile digital asset. Right? In the past few weeks, these powerful institutions have become so-called quote Bitcoin whales because the Bitcoin ecosystem. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Say it again for the people in the back. 19 million have been created, but many are already accounted for and probably off the market. And this is what's most interesting about this article right here. Is this little graphic that they give talks about 20 million Bitcoin. 1.4 Bitcoin are still out of circulation. This is essentially the mining pool that the miners are awarded, and that amount decreases or is cut in half, I believe, every 2.5 years. 2.4 million, that's a huge amount. More than 10% of all the Bitcoin ever to be created are thought to have been lost forever. I have, I believe, half of a Bitcoin in that population. And it was the early days. It was like the Wild Wild West. You didn't really know what you was doing. If you typed the wrong public address or the wrong private key, it was like that Bitcoin was gone. There is no 1-800 Bitcoin to get your money back. It's gone forever. Don't make that mistake again. And so it's a lot of expensive lessons out there from the early days of BTC. 10% of the economy gone forever. Presumably gone. 1.1 million. The Satoshi stash. I don't think this is gone. I think this is just out of circulation until Bitcoin hits probably 10 million. And you know, then some government or to be determined entity is going to claim ownership for that. What's interesting, if you really want to start to get into the heretics of, you know, blockchain theology and how this economy came to be, what's really interesting if you actually write down, you know, Satoshi Nakamoto. I think this is the most relevant guess at who it is, because you have some people that they've done like remote viewings, and one guy even went to the creation of Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, it's just some dude talking on a TV screen, so take it for what it's worth. But he talked about Bitcoin was made, or the ideas were, you know, developed in a room, and it was multiple people, and like one guy was wearing a suit, kind of like those old, you know, 3-letter organizations. It begins with a C and rhymes with BIA, BIA, you know what I'm saying? It's like he was dressed in one of those outfits, but they had like 4 guys from different backgrounds, and they were all in a whiteboard, and they were all talking about these different concepts. So I would imagine at some point a government entity was involved. I don't think this thing just came out the sky and went under everybody's nose. I think it's the end game. I think it's the future in present tense. But when you look at Satoshi Nakamoto, some people say that the letters, it's actually an anagram, I believe, for the company names that are involved in the creation. So you have Samsung, S-A. You have Toshiba, T-O-S-H-I. You have Nokia, N-A-K-A. And then you have Motorola, M-O-T-O. And between those 4 companies, you basically have the technology oligarchs of the East. And if you listen to Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money, he talks about the 2,000-year cycle, and basically we're coming up on another 2,000-year cycle, if not 20,000-year cycle, if not both. That essentially propels societal control back to the East. So it's interesting to see, but I digress. So 1.1 owned by Satoshi Nakamoto, currently out of circulation. 16.1 active Bitcoins. And this is essentially the strength of the network, the economy, the whales, the traders, the institutions, and the accumulators within the economy. And it says unknown whales are identified as owners of large Bitcoin wallets, and together they account for what? 1.6 million Bitcoin. And they're unknown. The people do not know. I guarantee you the government has to have a pretty good hold on who's who at this point. But it's still some people out there that, never plugged their Bitcoin into an exchange. It's called Virgin Bitcoin. And I actually have a friend that was a Bitcoin miner back in the day. And he was like, they're actually more valuable, or they will be. It's like getting a rookie card. King Griffey Jr. rookie card, Cal Ripken rookie card, LeBron James rookie card, Michael Jordan rookie card. It's like because it never went through the blockchain. It just was awarded from the network to the mining wallet. It never actually gone through the chain. So you can imagine the value on something like that is much, much higher. If you got a one of one and it just went one transaction to your wallet when that person sold it to you, that's going to be some premium value. I think once this economy gets all the way scaled out, it'll be interesting to see how, scarcity begins to present itself in different aspects of blockchain technology, right? And this last part is really just looking at whales are waking up, what's going on with Bitcoin. And this is from this week, more recent article. The data firm shows Bitcoin whale, who had been inactive for now almost a decade, holds $77 million worth of Bitcoin. Mined in the first 2 months, I was just talking about this, of the network's existence. So this is one of them. So this is like a Satoshi, bro. Like he was probably in the email thread on 4chan talking with Satoshi, chopping it up, seeing like, how can we get this cracking? You know what I'm saying? Existence. He transferred 5 Bitcoin to Kraken. So 5 Bitcoin, roughly about 300,000. He got 77 million. He ain't worried about 300K. He going through Kraken, so the government know exactly who he is. He paying his taxes on his Bitcoin. He is such a good person, and he go fund all the schools and pay all the roads himself with this new Bitcoin. Or he'll just pay for, a new politician to go and sign some government contracts and build some tanks somewhere. Who knows? But $77 million worth is nothing to laugh at. 300,000 is just a few bucks on the barrel. And he still has 1,200 in possession. Right. What's interesting about this is that these were dormant, like they hadn't moved in a few years. And that's one of the things I'm trying to tell people is like, you have entities that are buying Bitcoin and it's not coming back out in circulation. And I think that's one of the things that this chart doesn't really show is the Bitcoin that are down here in active Bitcoin, but haven't moved in a year. Haven't moved in 2 years, haven't moved in 3 years. That's essentially a bank. It's not coming back. And so now I think you start to, when you really talk about active circulating Bitcoin, it's probably less than, 12 million at this point. So it's very, very interesting. I think this ultimately presents a much higher price point than what we're at currently. Again, BTC's price is roughly $63,000. I think we're just at the very, very, very beginning of mainstream and global adoption, presenting Bitcoin to a price tag of $1 million within the next 5 to 10 years. I'm saying 10 because I think we're going to have a global recession, and that is your chance to buy. You know what I'm saying? You make money, you make more money on the down than you do on the up. Why? Because a roller coaster goes down faster than it goes up. And Bitcoin is the biggest roller coaster in the world right now. And all global assets are connected with the same dollar. When that dollar plummets, as it inevitably will, I believe all assets will, but that is your best chance to buy. You better get out and do DoorDash, get you a second job, sell a kidney. Listen, whatever need to happen for you to scrape up some extra dollars and throw it in the market, that's probably the best chance of our life. And I saw it happen back in 2008, 2009. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any capability. I didn't have any knowledge, but I was knowledgeable enough to look at TV, and I saw Bank of America down at $2 a share. I saw Sirius Satellite Radio down at 10 cents a share. And I'm like, bro, this can't get no cheaper. Las Vegas real estate down 95%. Orlando real estate now 92%. Arizona real estate down 89%. California real estate down 82%. Like, this is what's coming. And so, although we have a viable alternative, I do believe the price will be adversely affected in that event, but therein lies the opportunity because we know where it's going when it comes back around, right? So hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And when you prepare for the worst, have stacks on deck, right? And that's how we go begin this wealth transformation of our own. We go steward our own wealth, you know, as my mentor in the comments section so brilliantly describes every video. We go be great wealth stewards, and we go shepherd, you know, this pasture, and you know, look forward to the greatest transformation I think we're going to witness inside our lifetime. So there you go, everybody. This is indeed just the beginning. You know, I think in bigger scheme of things, it's the end of you know, one chapter, the beginning of another. If you think of a circle, if you think of a clock, when that clock strikes 12, 60 seconds later it's 12:01. It doesn't stop. So while this indeed may be the end, it is also the beginning as well. So with that being said, it's that time of the day. Signing out, boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Huh?